Hello everybody, my name is Okomie, but you can call me Oko for short. I'm an English VTuber and a casual elven e-girl, and today I just wanted to record a video showcasing the village build I've been working on my own SMP in Minecraft. A little bit of backstory, I've only been playing Minecraft for about a year, kind of off and on. I haven't really been super hardcore into it. These wings here are the second time I've ever been able to get an elytra, and I'm definitely more of a builder than a person who goes mining. I hate going under the ground. I hate it so fucking much. So I heavily rely on the things that you can do with villagers. And as such, I really like building like homes for them and whatnot. So this here on my SMP is the second biggest village thing that I've ever done, and I kind of just wanted to showcase what I've got so far, and yeah, I guess kind of encourage you all to follow along with its process. Progress? Process. Progress. Okay. This is what I get for not being scripted. Let's go! Oh. So when I first loaded into this world, spawn was literally right over here. In fact, I believe it's marked with the dirt pillars still. You can kind of see it there. So when I spawned in and walked through the woods, I saw that there was a naturally occurring village here. And because I get so horribly lost in Minecraft and I can't use coordinates, I like to have a compass on me at all times. So I tend to build near spawn. And I started building my house near spawn here. It's cute, it's quaint, it's where we started. And with this being an SMP and me not liking to go under the ground, I also decided to build an iron farm. This is a build that I have done on my solo world before, and it's really effective. I really like it, and it's also very pretty, which is something I find is rare with mob farms, is that they don't look pretty at all. I'll be linking the tutorial that I used for this down below. I forget who did it off the top of my head, but you'll find the tutorial for it down below. So let's go into the village proper. This here wasn't built by me, and it actually used to look a lot nicer, but this being kind of my first SMP, there was a lot of precautions we didn't have in place. We didn't have a rollback system, and we also didn't have a whitelist system. And I'll put on screen now what I woke up to one day, immediately after we fought the end dragon, immediately after we got our elytra. We did that all on stream, and literally the next day I came in to work on my village some more, and we had been griefed overnight. Unfortunately, this build suffered a lot of damage, and though we were able to unearth most of it, I wasn't the one who built it, so I don't know what all went into it. And the person who did build it after the griefing hasn't really come back yet. So hopefully they do, and hopefully they'll be able to return this to its former glory. But it was a lucky stick pull, where you get to draw a stick, and each stick has a number, and if I remember correctly, 5 is cursed. Alright, moving on. So this village isn't done yet, but here's what I've got so far. I've really been enjoying playing with the sight lines here. I watched a few videos, mostly by Fwip, honestly, who basically tried to hit home that you shouldn't have a straight linear sight line. That makes a village look boring. So I've been trying to keep with that. Just got some small villager homes here, just something very simple on the inside. That's another thing too. I've been trying to make sure that the interiors are all done, which is something I've noticed that some builders don't really do when they're building a village. But you know, my villagers are living here, and I want to make sure that they all have nice interiors. I just noticed that one there does not have a little tree in its little flower pot. There we go. This is one of my favorite builds, and I'll be putting a tutorial for this build down below as well. A lot of these I follow tutorials for, but this wagon is so nice. And whenever Whenever merchants accidentally leave their llamas here, I take them and put them in front of my wagon here, my caravan. Oh, there's two of you up here now. I was under the impression that villagers couldn't use ladders, yet there's two of them up here. Yeah. Up next, we have the Guild Apothecary. So this here was a tutorial that I severely altered. I don't even know if it could even be resemblant of the original tutorial anymore. But I imagine this is where the physician does a lot of research and study. I used to have a cleric here. I don't know what happened to him. He just kind of wandered off. Lots of herbs and whatnot over here, where the physician would probably grab to make, or the alchemist would probably grab to make remedies. And then in the back here, illness and recovery. This is, I think, the second building I put up, and I just wanted a lot of beds for my villagers. And then upstairs is where the physician or the alchemist would sleep. Still don't quite know what I want to do with this bedroom. Everything kind of feels wrong with it, probably because it's so small. And then we've got a little library over here. So straight from the apothecary, we have two other small villager homes here. Just quaint little small things. Just beds. Beds with decorated interiors. Places for villagers to sleep. Now this one here is designed to be a little bit more like a traditional like spawning villager home with a small space on the inside, but just like a little bit extra, a little bit more to it. What are you doing? I don't have any leads on me, do I? No. This here's the latest house that I've built for them, honestly, and I actually did this all on stream, so if you ever want to, follow along with the village process, go to my Twitch. Now, this one here actually went through a lot of changes. I followed a tutorial by Zapixel, I believe. I love their work. And I made a lot of changes to the inside. Zapixel originally had some barrels here and a ladder leading upwards, but villagers can't really find the ladders very well, so I put in stairs instead. Put in a quaint little loft bedroom up here. Originally I had the wall come out here, kind of following the original structure of the house, but I wanted to bump it out a little bit there because we had the tower there. We had some extra room here. And I originally had this to be a living room, but I noticed that some of my villagers weren't going to bed at night, so I thought maybe there just wasn't enough beds around. So I just turned this into a bedroom, kinda, I don't know, I try to imagine little backstories of my villagers, but with a suit of armor here and a sword, maybe the Street Fighter style poster here. I imagine this person might be a LARPer, much like myself, so I thought it'd be cute. Immediately after this build here, we have probably one of my favorite builds of all time. We have the bakery, and again, tutorial. Look, if it's got a tutorial for it, it's going to be in the description. I love this bakery, but the one issue I had with the tutorial is essentially upstairs was just going to be empty. And when you look on the outside, there's a lot of room up there. Like the roof or the ceiling ends here. That's a lot of room that was just going to be left to waste. So since this is a village and I need spaces for bodies, I ended up turning this into a loft apartment. And look at how much room was going to be sacrificed up here. Look at this. This is honestly one of my favorite interiors. I could probably put something a little more here that feels like empty space. But this is honestly one of my favorite interiors. I loved it so much. And because this is an SMP for my chat, my community, I do have food and whatnot here for people to take if they need, and because I work off the back of villagers, I have a lot of golden carrots, so actually I'm going to top mine up while we're here. But yeah, I just want to make sure that everybody always has access to food if they need it. Now in front of the bakery here, I imagine this to be a center, a town center, like a town square, which I will have a proper space for the meeting bell, and I also have the end dragon egg on me as well in my ender chest, so I want to kind of create a monument for it here, but we're not quite there yet. We'll get there. We'll get there. Let's see, what's next? Ooh, over here was the very first build I put down in the village after destroying the original village, is a guildsmith. And this is a mythical sausage build, which again, link in the description. But this is where all my smiths are, and with the iron farm, I trade them in iron here just to help, you know, keep everybody topped up, keep everyone a master, keep me supplied in emeralds, and to keep me supplied in diamonds, diamond gear and whatnot. The interior again is also, because this is the very first tutorial I followed, I didn't really take a whole lot of liberties, but the inside is also again pretty faithful to the original mythical sausage build. But yeah, very quaint, very cozy. Right next to the guildsmith, we have a little bit more of a modern build I found a tutorial for, and this was interesting. Again, most of these are supposed to be starter homes, so the interiors tend to be completely different than what I do with them. But up here we have just a quaint little spot for a bed and a little bit of a reading area. So again, I don't think this was part of the original tutorial, and it had to have the stairs upwards as well, because again, villagers can't really pathfind ladders very well. But the downstairs is this cute little fireplace setup and cute little kitchen, so it's kind of like a very small like studio apartment, I imagine. And then right over from their more modern home here, we've got our smoke shop, our butcher. We've got 2 butchers in here, 2 masters. One I keep trapped because I want to make sure he doesn't go anywhere, he doesn't like run away. I've lost a few master villagers because I do let them free roam. But you know, there are some that I keep trapped because I want them to stay. I should have done that with the blacksmiths. I've lost a few of them recently. But yeah, just more food again for the SMP to come and take as they need, which is really easy to do when I can buy like cooked pork chops and cooked chicken from these guys, the abundance of emeralds I get from my blacksmiths. And again, up here, just a very small, quaint, simplistic bedroom so that our free roaming butcher is able to find a place to sleep. And I love the mangroves. I love how they look like meat. So I've got them hanging here. Immediately behind the butcher, we have a small little farming house here. I believe this was also a Zapixel one. I'll have to double check. I love how the fireplace is done. I love, 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 love. Look at that. And the stove here. Another thing I love doing is having extinguished fireplaces or extinguished campfires around to kind of look like stacks of wood ready for the fireplace. Lots of storage up top because again, this was supposed to be a player starter home, so there's supposed to be lots of storage everywhere. And I do love how behind here I have a garden that was sectioned by type at some point. It was supposed to be like, I think carrots, then potatoes, and then wheat, but because the villagers are kind of left to free roam over here, they kind of just planted things wherever they wanted it to go. Ooh, also, I live in Nova Scotia, Canada, and we have a variety of blueberry here, which are a high bush blueberry, and I thought I would include those in my little farm here. And this is just regular coral blocks. Underneath is a little thing of water, and they're supposed to look like blueberry barrels. And I think I got this idea from Whip, and I fucking love it so much. It's so stinking cute, and it looks like blueberries. I just genuinely did not think to use them like this. I think I might grab some red coral at some point and try to emulate the same thing for like cranberries or strawberries or something. After our little farm house here, we also have the barn. The barn is mostly a facade for something absolutely terrible, and look, most Minecraft players are like this. I need a lot of leather for picture frames and so on. So I do have a cow crusher inside the barn. Just ignore it. Don't look at it. Look at the sheep though. Look at them. Everyone's happy. Everyone's, you know, quaint. I think the original village had a similar setup over here. So I just kind of, after I broke the fence, I let all the creatures kind of free range, and then I eventually corralled them into the new barn. Alright, so now we're going to get into kind of the more far outstretched pieces of the village. like over here, I think was the third building I've ever put up. And it was a little fishing hut. Or more accurately, a home for a fisherman or a fisher person. Just a quaint, small, little... Why is there a hole there? Did I not? We'll fix it later. That's probably the attitude I've kept with it. And then promptly forget about it each time. But yeah, just like a little salmon here. And then on the back, just a little space for them to fish. And to keep in line with this, I'm probably going to be putting a little fisher market or a little fish market here for the fishmonger to sell the catch. Why? Who on the SMP did this? Why? Alright, we're back at the apothecary now, and again, these sight lines not being linear. I love this. But also, time for honestly one of my favorite builds. The bakery is definitely one of my favorite builds, but this here is a close second. This here is the library. Again, a very heavily edited tutorial, but it's so big. Okay. This here houses our mending librarian. It's a very slim building, but oh my god, I love the interior so much. It just feels... Why is there... It just feels like a library. Who took my bookshelf? I'm gonna have words with people. But yeah, I love this. And just quaint like little reading nooks for people to like read, grab their books and whatnot. But also more reading nooks up top here. But I, of course, had to build in a living space. Just a quaint little, you know, loft apartment for possibly the librarian if he wasn't trapped under the stairs. But yeah, that is everything so far. I am still working on this. There's still quite a number of builds that need to go up. I do want this to feel pretty big and full and fleshed out. But if you want to again follow the progress, follow me on Twitch. I will be streaming progress there. Or if you ever want any more videos about it, like, you know, do the YouTube thing, like and subscribe, leave a comment, tell me your favorite building. Or if you have any ideas for what buildings I should put up next, let me know, because I am sort of running out. I'm running out of ideas, but I would love your suggestions. Let's go get an aerial view, huh? I love this place so much. Oh, I didn't even show you guys the back of the bakery.